Hello and welcome to Weekly MTG. I am your overexcited host, Blake Rasmussen. Today is one of my favorite shows we've ever done because today we are taking a first look at The Lord of the Rings, Tales of Middle-earth, and I honestly, I'm having trouble containing my excitement to actually get information out to all of you. This set, y'all, this set is an amazing love letter to Tolkien fans, one of which is me. And I'm bursting with joy getting to share all of this with you. Couple notes right up front. This is a first look. For those of you who don't know what a first look is, first looks are our opportunity to actually show a bit about the set to your local game store so that they know what they're ordering. As a bonus, you all get to see stuff too. So we're a little bit ahead of the release, which is happening in a few months, but we want to give local game stores that first look, and you as well. So we're going to see some cool stuff today. We're not really going to talk about mechanics with a little asterisk next to that. We'll see. We'll get to that. We're going to get to the good stuff. Also, before we get started, and before I can no longer contain myself and just start talking about cards, I do want to let you all know that we have relaunched the Magic Story podcast. So we did the Magic Story podcast years ago, around the time of Dominaria, and it has been relaunched ahead of one of our most consequential stories coming up, the March of the Machine story. That set of written stories is going to kick off this Thursday, and if you're looking to get caught up, learn a little bit about what has brought us here, the Magic Story podcast is available now. You can head to dailymtg.com to find it, or you can find it on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Okay, Lord of the Rings. Okay, so if you're not familiar with the set, if you haven't seen the pre-order beat or any of the bits that we've talked about so far, Lord of the Rings, The Lord of the Rings, Tales of Middle-earth is our first Universes Beyond booster release, and as such, it has been given so much care. We have worked really close with people at Middle-earth Enterprises to craft this set that brings to life Tolkien's words, and we are so excited to bring it to you all. So we are going to kick things off by sharing a number of the characters who are part of this world. We're going to talk about all of the components of this product, the product lineup. We're going to talk about a couple promotions. We're going to talk about promos, buy a box toppers, which are incredibly sweet. And we are just going to relish the flavor that is imbued throughout this set. Those of you who've seen me talk before, no, I don't talk this fast or this much unless I'm this excited. So we are going to kick things off. And of course, we are going to start things by taking a look at Frodo. Frodo, Sauron's Bane. For 1 white mana, you get a 1/2 legendary creature, Halfling Citizen. For white or black, if Frodo Sauron's Bane is a citizen, it becomes a Halfling Scout with base power and toughness 2, 3, and lifelink. And then for triple black mana, if Frodo is a scout, it becomes a Halfling Rogue with whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, that player loses the game if the ring has tempted you 4 or more times. Otherwise, the ring tempts you. Yes, being tempted by the ring is a core mechanic of this set, and we are not going to talk about what it means yet today. You will see it referenced in a few places, but we're going to talk about the actual mechanics of that as we get closer to the set, but know that it is imbued throughout this set. And I'm going to pause because each of these cards tells a little story at a certain point. This is Frodo going on his journey. He starts as a Halfling Citizen and then becomes a scout as he goes out into the world. And then as the ring bears down on him, as his journey goes on, he becomes a Halfling Rogue with, you see that black mana imbuing him with even more power. Now, we of course have multiple different versions of cards in this set. And so let's go through what they are and kind of the concepts for each of them. So there's the main set regular version on the left. In the center there is the Showcase Ring treatment. So the Showcase Ring treatment is meant to show characters when they're at a point of uncertainty. Often it involves being tempted by the ring or wearing the ring or handling the ring. Not all of them. We're going to see a couple cases today where they are other moments of uncertainty. But here you see Frodo early on slipping on the ring to hide, um, and being further tempted by it and drawn to its power. Finally, on the right side, the Borderless Scene Bundle promo. So if you have been paying attention, there are 7 scenes, collections of cards that in that borderless treatment will create a scene. We're going to see one of those scenes today. When we first announced the set, we released the scene, not the cards, of the Battle of Pelennor Fields, and this is from a scene that we're going to reveal here that shows them at Mount Doom. So we're going to show all 4 cards in that scene today. Now, of course, Frodo can't go to Mount Doom without Sam. Samwise the Stout-Hearted. This is a legendary creature halfling peasant. Samwise the Stout-Hearted costs 1 and a white mana, is a 2/1 with flash, and when Samwise the Stout-Hearted enters the battlefield, choose up to 1 target permanent card in your graveyard that was put there from the battlefield this turn. Return it to your hand, then the ring tempts you. So something I want to point out about this, you'll notice that Samwise here is an uncommon. Throughout this set, if you saw the article yesterday on IGN talking about Gandalf, there are multiple versions of characters depicted at different points in the story. And there will be uncommon versions, rare versions, mythic versions. Not every character gets all the different rarities, but it's much like Brothers War, where your favorite characters get multiple treatments, showing them at multiple points in their journey. So this is the uncommon version of Samwise the Stout-Hearted, and as is flavorful, he's saving someone. So let's look at the different versions of Samwise the Stout-Hearted. I love his showcase ring treatment, which shows him bearing Frodo up Mount Doom to carry the one ring, that last little bit of the way that only Sam and his strength could do. Finally, on the right side, the Borderless Scene Bundle promo is showing his part in the scene of Mount Doom. Now, the Borderless Scene Bundle promo, it's noted as a bundle promo, but you can get this scene in collector boosters as well. So the scene, the bundle scene, is foil. And note that in the bundle, normally there is 1 bundle promo. In this case, the bundle and the gift bundle will both have this scene. So we'll have all 4 cards. Every bundle will have all 4 cards, and we'll see the others today. Non-foils can be found in the collector booster of that scene with Samwise the Stout-Hearted over there. All right, now also imbued throughout this set are the locations that we visit throughout the entire journey. And so I thought today we'd share the beginning of the journey and the end of the journey. So let's take a look at the Shire. The Shire is a legendary land that enters the battlefield tapped unless you control a legendary creature. Tap to add green, and 1 and a green, tap an untapped creature you control, create a food token. And I love the flavor text on all of these. You must start somewhere and have some roots, and the soil of the Shire is deep. So a couple things to note about this card. Yes, there is a bit of a legendary theme throughout the set. Obviously, with so many amazing characters, there are legends strewn throughout this set. Many who are very well known, like Frodo and Sam, and we'll see some lesser known ones later on as well. And then food. How can it be a set with hobbits and not have a food sub-theme? So you'll see many hobbits creating food, doing things with food. There's some versions of Sam that deal with food. So you'll see food kind of throughout the set as well. Now, these locations, all of which have rare or mythic rare versions, will also have borderless versions as well. So this is the borderless version of the Shire with different art on the idyllic landscape. All right, and now the polar opposite of the Shire, we come to Mount Doom, a legendary land that you can tap and pay a life to add black or red. Then you can pay 1 black red and tap. Mount Doom deals 1 damage to each opponent. And then the incredibly flavorful final ability, 5 a black and a red. Tap and sacrifice Mount Doom and a legendary artifact. Choose up to 2 creatures, then destroy the rest. Activate only as a sorcery. A couple notes on this one, besides just dripping with flavor. I know a lot of people will see the black and red and expect that there is a cycle of dual lands. That is not the case. This is a land that was specifically designed to represent Mount Doom. This is not part of a 5-card cycle. This is just Mount Doom adding the black and red. And of course, there is the borderless version, which gets a little up close and personal with the final landing spot of the One Ring. Next, I want to circle back and look at a couple more characters, one of which should look familiar if you saw the IGN article yesterday. But first, we have Gollum, Patient Plotter. For 1 and a black, you have a legendary creature, Halfling Horror. Gollum, Patient Plotter is a 3/1. And when Gollum, Patient Plotter leaves the battlefield, the ring tempts you. Again, we'll talk more about what that means closer to release. Black and sacrifice a creature. Return Gollum from your graveyard to your hand. Activate only as a sorcery. This is an uncommon version of Gollum, kind of as we meet him along with Frodo. There are multiple versions, of course, of Gollum. We have Gollum in the center, living in his cave with the ring for hundreds of years. And then on the right side, we have Gollum's part in that Mount Doom scene. And then if you saw the article yesterday, this next one is going to look familiar. So Gandalf the Grey was revealed by IGN yesterday for 3 blue and a red, legendary creature, avatar wizard. When you cast an instant or sorcery spell, choose one that hasn't been chosen. You may tap or untap the target permanent. Gandalf the Grey deals 3 damage to each opponent. Copy target instant or sorcery spell you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. Or put Gandalf on top of its owner's library. It's a 3/4. Gandalf shows up, does some tricks, and leaves. What I do, let's put up the ring version as well. So I want to talk about this a little bit. I know this card was revealed yesterday, but again, with the multiple versions of a character, this is the Gandalf we see protecting the Fellowship in the Mines of Moria when the Balrog shows up. So you'll see that on the left, him standing up ready to face the Balrog. And then his moment of uncertainty, Gandalf the Grey, remember, we'll meet other versions of Gandalf along the way, is in the Mines of Moria, falling off the bridge of Khazad-dûm as he battles the Balrog. Yes, this set has a Balrog in it. Yes, we will see the bridge of Khazad-dûm even later in this presentation. So the multiple versions of Gandalf the Grey, that was also revealed yesterday, but if you missed it, there's going to be a Gandalf, Friend of the Shire. There's going to be a Gandalf the White, of course, and there may be a version in the Commander set as well. Now, the other thing this set does really well, besides the characters and locations, is important moments throughout the set. And so that's why I wanted to lead with Gandalf here, because the next card is a really good example of that. So this is a simple uncommon trick, but it's you cannot pass. For a single white instant, destroy target creature that blocked or was blocked by a legendary creature this turn. And we see a more action-heavy scene between Gandalf and the Balrog. I just almost got into lore of the Maiar. I'm not going to do that. We're going to keep going. I've been listening to a lot of Lord of the Rings podcasts lately because I'm excited. But this set is not just flavor. It is absolutely dripping with flavor. But it is worth noting that this set is legal in Modern. And while this set is not Modern Horizons in terms of power level, we do have some interesting new additions to that format, like our next card that people have been asking for in some form or fashion for a while. So this is Reprieve. For 1 and a white instant, return target spell to its owner's hand, draw a card. So this is basically a white remand, which people have been talking about being possible in white for a while. So that is going to be available in Modern. That's sort of the power level that we're aiming for, but it is, again, this set is dripping with flavor, and where there are opportunities, these kind of cool modern shots were made. But I'm really excited, as a huge Remand fan, I'm really excited for Reprieve. I'll just play blue-white, and we can play 8 of these things. Okay, now, when I started getting excited about this set, it was this next card that I went looking for. I pinged the architect, and I was like, hey, is this character in here? He's like, yes, absolutely, check it out, here it is. And I've been listening to podcasts about theories about this character, and I couldn't not put it in the first look here. I was so excited to get this out in the world. Let's meet Tom Bombadil. Tom Bombadil, for white, blue, black, red, and green, is a legendary creature god bard. Now again, I've been listening to theories about Tom Bombadil, and that god bard line might actually set off some new theories. We'll see. But anyway, 4/4, as long as there are 4 or more lore counters among sagas you control, Tom Bombadil has hexproof and indestructible. Whenever the final chapter ability of a saga you control resolves, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a saga card. Put that card onto the battlefield, and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. This ability triggers only once each turn. It is a saga commander. It is a storyteller. It is Tom Bombadil brought to life. I am just beyond excited for this. Let's also show the ring version, because the ring version is really cool. If you are not familiar with Tom Bombadil's part in the story, he's sort of this enigmatic figure, but his biggest claim to fame, I guess, is that he's completely unaffected by the ring. He puts it on, he doesn't turn invisible, he's not tempted by it in the least, and so rather than this moment of uncertainty, we see light coming from Tom Bombadil, and it tells such an amazing story for such a wild and creative character that I'm so stoked we were able to get into the set. Just amazing. Okay, I can only gush about Tom Bombadil for so long. We do have to keep going through more cards. Let's keep doing some more cards. So there are going to be 4 commander decks released with this set, and we're not releasing the face cards today because a lot of them contain mechanics. But I did want to show you 2 examples of cards that are not the face cards but are really cool, to show again that the flavor is just throughout these commander decks, and you're going to be able to play these commander decks and tell a story, as it were, a tale of Middle-earth. So one of the first cards I have from the commander decks to show you is Sam, Loyal Attendant. 1, a green and a white for a legendary creature, halfling peasant. It's a 2/4, but the most flavorful bit of his text, of course, is partner with Frodo, adventurous hobbit. So yes, there will be the face card, actually, of this commander deck is Frodo, adventurous hobbit. We're not going to show Frodo today, but how can we have a commander deck without Sam and Frodo partnering to go on an adventure? In this case, Sam, Loyal Attendant, creates at the beginning of combat on your turn a food token. Of course, Sam creates a food token. And then activated abilities of foods you control cost 1 less to activate. So Sam and Frodo partnering to go on an adventure here. That version you see on the right is the extended version, so the new commander cards will have extended versions in collector boosters as well. And then maybe second to Tom Bombadil is my next favorite character in Lord of the Rings, which is again why I got to pick it. We're going to see the commander version of Radagast, Wizard of the Wild. So Radagast is 2, a green and a blue, 3/5, legendary creature, avatar wizard, ward 1. Beasts and birds you control have ward 1. Radagast is all about the beasts and the birds. Whenever you cast a spell with mana value 5 or greater, choose 1. create a 3/3 green beast creature token or create a 2/2 blue bird creature token with flying. Radagast, for those who don't know, is one of the wizard's